What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another FIFA 20 video. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how to trade with the actual team of the season cards, as well as any promo cards that come out. It's a pretty similar method, I guess. You could have used it for literally any of the past promos this year. It always follows the same trend. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys like the past promo cards and see how they fared the first few days. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking to buy within the first 2 to 3 hours of the promo starting. So on Friday, lightning rounds come at 6. So we're going to try and buy around 7 or 8 o'clock UK time. So what we do is, we wait about the first hour. I like to buy during the 100Ks. That's when prices tend to be the lowest. During 50Ks, we see prices kind of, they're figuring out prices. We see them kind of drop as people list very high, and no one's going to buy, cards for super expensive. So what we do is we look to buy around 100Ks because that's when a decent amount of supply has hit the market and we can pick up. You can also wait till 125Ks come out too. However, after the 100Ks are pretty much done, about 7:30, it seems that the market in that time starts to pick up. People start buying to play games, as a lot of people usually spend their coins or FIFA points on 100K packs and not the 125Ks. So then once we buy at like 7:30, we're going to look to sell overnight after lightning rounds are done, usually on that Friday or Saturday depending on the card. So I have a few examples here from Foot Birthday, Shapeshifters, and Winter Refresh of all cards that kind of rose up a bit. So we're going to take the first look at St. Maximin here. And this is a card you could have made huge profit on. As you can see, he's obviously, skyrocketed since, because there's no card like him. He's one of few cards to actually look like this. So if we zoom in here to 1 month, he started out at about 911K, and that's just his daily average. So that doesn't take into account that these prices were lower that day or higher. So for St. Maximin, he was actually at one point when the 7:30 rolled around UK time, he was actually 750K. I picked him up for about 750K, 800K, and actually was able to later sell him that night for about 1,000,000 coins. And as you can see, his price rose up on Saturday, and so on and so forth. He's up to 1.3 million now, which is absolutely, it's good. So when you're looking for these cards, you have to understand like what makes this card special. Why is he so expensive? There's no card like his. With as quick as he is and as good as his dribbling is with 5-star, 5-star, there's a reason why his card is expensive, and you have to look through that for all of the cards. So Ratchford is another example I wanted to use here, and Ratchford, there are cards like his card. So he did not see as big as a rise as St. Maximin did, because there's other versions you can get. There's icons who are similar to his stats, but nonetheless, Ratchford you still could have made some decent coins on. As you can see here, the daily average was 1.5. If you bought during 7:30 lightning rounds, he was actually under 1.5 mil. And then overnight, you could have sold him for around 1.6, 1.6 and a half on Xbox at least. And that was a good trend. You were able to make good coins. And then obviously he started to sink down, as there's nothing too special about this card. Yes, he's got 5-star, 5-star, but there are other strikers similar to him who you could use as alternatives, unlike St. Maximin at that position. Next up we have Pogba, and Pogba is a card that I really liked because he has no special cards this game, and that's what made him special. Not only does he have 5-star, 5-star, but he also doesn't have any other special cards. He's an absolute tank of a player, and it was just ridiculous to see the prices. So you could have got this card at about 2.5 at the 7:30 mark during lightning rounds, and I unfortunately did not have the coins to pick him up, but he was 2.5 on Xbox, and then on Saturday obviously he was up to 3.2, but his price range was getting kind of fixed a little bit at 3 mil. He actually went extinct at around 5 mil for a little bit of time, which was actually really crazy, if you guys do remember that period. And we're going to get more into the the price caps and price ranges, as sometimes these players were extinct, but there was a time Pogba was extinct, and there was huge profit to be made there on that card. So this was just FUT birthday. These were the few of the ones that I like the most and I try to trade with. We're gonna go down to these ones here, and Shapeshifters was a little bit different. A lot of the Shapeshifters we actually did not see rise too much because there wasn't too much standing out with these cards. So for example, Marcelo was one that did stand out. Why did Marcelo stand out? He's got 5-star, 4-star. He's a left back who went into a cam, a really good position, and his stats were crazy. He was an easy one that you could have flipped. During the lightning rounds, you could have picked up for 1-2. On Saturday, he actually rose up to 1-5 for Xbox, which is pretty massive rise. So you could have made some really good profit. And this was just, another card, for example. Shapeshifters was a weird promo because of just how similar some of these cards were. Messi, for example, I mean, look at all the versions he has. He's actually one that actually dropped down quite a lot. So you do have to be careful when you're considering what cards to pick up for Team this season. You don't want to pick up too many cards that are far away in price from his other versions, or, for example, if we're to get a Virgil Van Dijk Team this season, which is likely, if you're looking, compare his price to his Team of the Year. So for example, we go to Virgil Van Dijk, Team of the Year here. His next is the FUT birthday, and then he's got his Team of the Year. The Team of the Year is about 3 mil on Xbox. The FUT birthday is under 1 mil. So a Team of the Season is going to be about halfway. If you see his Team of the Season is near 2.7, 3 mil, you don't want to pick up that card during that time. However, if his card is close to, let's say, 1 million, 1.2 million on Xbox, that might be worth picking up. So you have to keep in mind alternative versions, alternative players, and all that for picking the right cards. So finally, I do want to take a quick look at Zlatan during the winter refresh period, because he is another card that actually rose up pretty nice. And this was due because it's his AC Milan version, and there's no other Milan version of Zlatan besides his 56 paste one. So this was a card that was going to be pretty easy to predict that it'd rise up during the lightning round, after the lightning rounds. You could pick him up for under 1.4 during the lightning rounds at 730. Sold him for over 1.5 come Saturday. A pretty easy trade too, and it was easy to see a 5-star 4-star Zlatan on AC Milan with 88 pace and not the 56 he usually has. That one's obviously going to rise up a lot higher. And this just brings me to my next point though, is again, like I said, you have to be careful of who you're looking for. You don't want to pick up cards that are too similar in prices. You got to look for the good cards that are special from their other versions, and we're gonna see that. There's a lot of talk about a potential James Maddison one. James Maddison, the only other version he has is his headliners. That's close, and his headliners is around 135k right now. So if we get a really sick Team of the Season card for him, look for those prices. He is one that could be an easy one to trade with for Premier League Team this season. And you can say that for whatever cards. Just look for ones that don't have many specials. Quickly, before we end this video, I do want to talk about the potential for extinct cards. We saw Bale go extinct, and this is one you could have made huge profit on. His max price range was about 1.8 million when he first came out. And as you could see here on that Friday, he actually got it changed at night to 3.4 mil, whatever it was. So if you were able to pick him up for 1.8 mil and snipe him, when his price range got updated, there were some that were selling for 2.8 million. That's about a 1 million coin profit, 900k after tax, and you just got to keep an eye out for that. If you see any extinct cards and they're not close to any versions, like Bale for example, this version is so much different than the UCL. Lightning rounds for an extinct one, that might be a really good idea to look into snipe. Another one, for example, was Lasagna. I think I spelled it wrong. Lasagna, there we go. Lasagna was extinct at 200k for a little bit. His price range got updated to whatever it was. Is this gonna pop up for me? I spelled lasagna wrong, didn't I? But he was extinct at 200k, and you were able to probably sell him for 300 when he just rose up. As you can see here, he was 171 when he went extinct at 200k the next day. He rose up a little bit and then he started to drop down, so you just got to be aware of that. But the PlayStation guys probably made some pretty good profit from him being extinct. Xbox guys a little bit, but I mean, he was 240 on PS4 after he was extinct at 200k. And that will pretty much wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like on this video. And if you guys are new around here, make sure you guys subscribe. We got some pretty interesting team of the season content coming out very soon. As well as tomorrow, we'll be talking about some last minute investments to make, for SBCs and all that. So don't miss out on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time.